So once again, I'm back early. I mean, I said, let me just do early. Let me do an early show today. I just, sitting around hanging out and stuff. I said, you know what? I got to do an early show with the Bishop. Bishop was the last show I had. Daggone for they did gonna do me dirty. But nevertheless, we're gonna bring him on.
Good evening. Good afternoon, actually.
Yeah, good afternoon. How you doing? I'm glad
Not bad. How about you?
I'm glad you're back since the guys knocked me off last time.
Yeah.
The small hats, the synagogue of Satan brothers knocked me off because they said y'all are talking too much, even though we really didn't talk about anything. And you were here to witness it because I told you the next day that they knocked me off, and you didn't even understand why.
I didn't. The accusations against you were false. I mean, the majority of the program had nothing to do with what they were saying the program had something to do with. Nothing. We covered so many topics in that hour-long session that was a small piece of the big pie. And so I was
it was kind of like like 1/9 of the pie. Or 1/10.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Very small part. Very small. Really an insignificant part. Because it was we didn't even get into it, really. Like we could have,
Well, I don't care who was on here, who not. I'm back and I'm better than ever. And then I had to say, well, let me look up some things on censorship. We're going to talk about that today because when you get into censorship, you are getting into a form of a dictatorship.
You are.
If we're talking about tyranny and stuff, see,
a totalitarian state.
Yeah, police state too as well. See, this is the problem I have with, like New York. They're trying to pass a bill in the legislature to try to say that, we could pass legislation that we consider you be a public health crisis. We can put you in indefinite detention. Do you realize this is now, I'm going to say this. See, here's the problem. And I'm going to use the word, you heard of Jim Jones before, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is Jim Jones on steroids type nonsense here. Okay. They're going over the top. You're talking about drinking the Kool-Aid. They daggone trying to get the whole damn picture plus more. Right?
not just a cup full, a whole pitcher full.
But this thing about censoring people. And this is why I told people last year that when you sat there and paraded Donald Trump being censored on Twitter, I say you do know that means that that's going to happen to you, right? You do know that, right? You do know what they're saying. See, pay no attention to him. Or everybody else, because they knocked off a lot of other people's accounts then too. I sent you out a couple of weeks ago from Brownstone Institute. You got that when it showed you January 6th, coincidentally, they're trying to put us on new policies where you can't even contradict anything Biden or Fauci says. Well, wait a minute. Throughout human nature, we've always had a debate.
Oh, yeah.
So why can't I debate you? I like to always ask the question. I give you a little thing here, and I'm going to give you some credit for it that you say. I know we were talking a couple of days ago, and you said that one thing I admire about you is that if something don't sit well with me, I might go blank for 25 minutes.
Yes, you do.
But I'm coming back sooner or later.
That's
I read everything to get back.
Right.
And I said, that's amazing that he actually knows that. No, I'm not blank. I'm still there.
Yeah, you are. You're there.
Now sometimes I am doing something like working out or doing something else.
Yeah, but I mean, but
I'm still
on the average, you're still there. But what I like about you is this: you try the best that you can to bring facts, not opinion, not how you feel about it, but facts. And that's why when you seem to be removing yourself from the conversation, it's not really removing yourself from the conversation, but rather getting the facts. You're hearing other people's opinions. Many times that's all it is an opinion of one person versus another person. But you don't delve in opinions alone.
Yeah.
You delve in finding out the fact and then you form an opinion from the fact that you found out, and not just how you feel about it.
This is one of my old
I'm going to tell you the truth. This country is in danger of being reduced to only feelings. You know, I mean, what I feel about it, what I think about it, what I believe about it. We better be careful of that, because everybody has an opinion.
Let me say something to you. You know, I got a guy at the gym, and he always asks me, "Well, what do you think about it?" And I came back and I told him, "I don't think nothing. I go find out the answer. I think I could just tell you somebody, hey, I think this is gonna happen. No. I'm not gonna tell you what I think now. I don't do that. Not very often. I think that I can say, because if you give me that opportunity to say I can say I think I'm gonna live forever. Or I think that the sky is, this color. I think it's that color. I can think anything. So I mean, everything is about thoughts and ideas, right?
Right.
So I don't like to do a lot thinking. I think for myself. Here's the problem, dude. Where a lot of us are taught how to think, but not what to think. Having a conversation with a friend the other day, and we had a little good conversation. And I said, I do not care if a person went to college or not. That means nothing to me. But you have to understand that a lot of colleges, even though, as a matter of fact, I think it was a great, wonderful Felicia Lockhart, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, I just talked to her a little while ago. She's out there making videos. I'm sure y'all have seen Miss Lockhart before on my program.
Oh, yes.
She's very intelligent woman. Very intelligent. Actually, a lot of intelligence. I'm sure Monique 2C. How you doing, Monique 2C? I'm glad you're in the building. Monique 2C, she likes Miss Lockhart. She always.
Hi, Monique.
Said, hey, how you doing, Sunlight? How you doing? But listen, what I'm saying is that we had a conversation, and it was about the idea of college. While it has good, it also has been on some of the colleges, like your Marxism, the communist movement come out of a lot of these colleges, right?
Right.
Or even your conservative movement. So the idea is, if you're going, go, but don't get caught woven into the agenda of what they're trying to push. Go and do what you got to do, not get woven into the spider web of these agendas.
Because, I agree with that.
Because I look at it, you got matter of fact, it was an interview with Candace Owens and Donald Trump. And some people have a feeling about Candace Owens. I don't really get emotional about her. I just look at the interview. But she had an interview the other day with Donald Trump, and the media is trying to say, oh my God, he shut down her on this stance about the jab or whatever. No. They just had a talk. But the media ran with the headline. I watched the interview. I said, I didn't see none of this. Matter of fact, she said the same thing. But here's the key with Candace Owens. And I listened to what she said. She said that I'm going to give Trump a fair interview. She's like, on the left, it's like they want to use him as demonize. On the right, they want to say,
just the opposite. He's a demagogue.
We ain't gonna run again. We ain't gonna run again.
Right.
She said, I just wanted to give him an interview. But here's the problem with the interview. The interview was great. He talked about January 6th. He talked about everything, right? Even his stance on the jab, whatever. That's what I got out of it more so is that was a perfectly fine interview. When you have an interview, you ask the question. Right. You get an answer. The media made this 3-second clip, this 3-minute part spot, they talked about this and said that they had a debate. He shut her down. No, they just had to me, it was a simple conversation. But that's the point I'm talking about. It's how you word the question, how you put the headline down. That's the issue. And they do that all the time. I'm going to give you another example. I'm sure you saw Charlemagne the fraud. Kamala Harris, right?
And Kamala Harris, yeah.
And I'm sure you got women out there saying, ooh, the sister girl got smart with him. She let him know that she boss. No, it just made me look like a puppet show. That's all it was to me. Really, to tell you the truth, he asked her who's running the country, right?
Right.
Joe Manchin, Joe Biden. She said, well, I'm Kamala Harris and it's Joe Biden, right? That's what she said.
And okay. I'm vice president. And I'm the vice president.
But if you look at the content, really, of what she's saying, she talked about, we've done a lot for you. We've reduced chokeholds. Well, that's not even federal. That's some state stuff. I don't remember calling Bishop and saying, Bishop, I want them to reduce chokeholds. I never said that. I don't remember saying that. So what are you talking about? Like,
that's right.
That's not of any importance to me. Okay. The child tax credit. Well, number 2, that actually benefits more middle class people, because there's a lot of people that don't even put their child in daycare for obvious reasons.
They can't afford
it. So, but yeah, he did. Yeah, he is more than paid for. But because he's on the comedy show. You're right, Stanley. Yeah, but I'm just bringing it up. But
you know what bothered me the most about that interview? Every interview with whether it's Biden or Kamala Harris, when you're talking about the liberal media, they always frame it in such a way that it's not really hitting the question hard, and it's not hitting the question persistently. For example, when she got all uppity, and got her juices running, flowing, if you will, the first thing he said was, "That's the Kamala I want to see. That's the Kamala I like." It's not about her presentation. It's about what she's saying. I don't care if she screams and shouts and runs all about. It's not about the rant. It's about the substance. What is she saying? I don't care how she says it. They get all. So we get into many of us get into this thing of, see, we're used to preachers, and you know how black preachers are. I mean, they're very emotional and animated, and we're used to that kind of speaker. And so instead of listening to and we're guilty of this with preachers, we don't really listen to the sermon. We listen to how he or she presents the sermon. And so the same thing with Kamala. As soon as she got on her high horse, he admired her. He congratulated her. She said absolutely nothing, once again, that benefits his community, our community, absolutely nothing. And yet, because of how she got all excited and animated, now that's the Kamala I want to see. That's the Kamala that I'm looking for. What? A whole lot of hooping and hollering with nothing to show for it? She offers nothing, but she knows how to get over on us. And she does it every time. This is not the first time that she's been interviewed by Charlemagne. She was on the Charlemagne, on their show, The Breakfast Club, just before she became vice president, talking about bringing her little hot sauce and all that kind of mess. Talking about she remembers what's the boy's name? Snoop Dogg and Tupac. And they weren't even around and certainly weren't popular when she was going to college. But we fall for that okie doke. Let's say she didn't know Tupac. Let's say she didn't know Snoop Dogg. How does that impact my life? What does that mean to me? So she is an AKA. So she went to Howard University. What does that mean to me? And we're too caught up in this. I don't know what we're caught up. We're caught up in the imagery. That's the good word for it. The imagery of these people, not holding them to responsibility, not holding them to substantive matters. We're just so impressed by the appearance, the imagery. And no substance, just the imagery. You project yourself. You sound like a preacher. In fact, I heard somebody say, preach, Kamala, preach. Who cares about preaching? I want to know what you're going to do for our community, what you're going to do for the American people generally, and the black community in particular. And now, once again, here she is. See how we do? Her whole time, this whole year, after the election, this whole year, she has divorced herself from us. But now it's election time again. Midterms in 2022 and the general election in 2022 and 24. So now what she's doing? She's going around the cycle again, right? She's going around the black folk again. Being interviewed by Charmaine the God.
You know what,
having those black women, those black prominent women, the Zoom call. So and we fall for the okie doke every time.
Hey, can I say something?
You're going.
Because you say a lot right there. So I gotta come back with some haymakers on this. You know what Kamala remind me of?
What's that?
Kamala remind me of some girls or women that I used to talk to, right?
Okay.
That you break away from, but they always text you back or call you back. And whether it's an opportune time or an opportune time, but they call you back. You know, and they say, BJ, you know, I was wrong, or how you been doing?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, just had one text me yesterday. How you been doing? Matter of fact, Tuesday night. How you been doing? I ain't seen you in 3 years, but you still reach out to me. Now, I don't know if that's guilt because you saying I'm right about everything that happened a couple years ago, or you just making a comment. But I have to say how you doing back. But remind you that woman that always come back.
Yeah, and most time they come back when it didn't work out where they were.
Yeah.
If it would have worked out, they wouldn't know your name.
That's what Kamala reminded me of.
But Kamala, whatever she thought was going to work out, hadn't worked out. She's 28% in terms of the approval rating in the nation. So it ain't working out for her. So who she come back home to? I'm going back home to my, the N-words. I'm going back home to my...
But let me ask you a question, though. Why don't Kamala go back home to the Indians, the East Indians, or the Brahmins, where she's really about? She don't go to them because they don't want to hear it.
That's right.
So, I know you got some Hindu Brahmins over here in America. You could probably look.
Oh, yeah, you know that. Oh, yeah.
So, why don't you go to them? You always come back this way.
Because they're not fooled by the okie doke.
Oh, you helped me. Oh man, y'all AKAs, y'all saved me. Oh, y'all helped me get in the way. But she's like a girlfriend that always comes back when you least expect it.
Because they ain't work where she was.
Or okay, I get to that in a second. Okay, thank you, Monel. And check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the thing. I'm gonna be real with you. Now, some men, hey, if the girl that you were messing with comes back, you might go for another round. But guess what? When you go for another round, you're just going for another round. You're not trying to reminisce the whole blast from the past or whatever.
Right.
But you're just getting a little bit more candy.
Yeah, getting.
The first time. You're just picking back up. You got a sweet tooth. So you just reminiscing on the sweet tooth. But you're not reminiscing on everything else. Don't worry about all that.
But the sad part about us, Bernard, is that we embrace them again like we did the first time.
Well, that's the problem.
They done cheated on us. They done cheated on us. It didn't work out with the man that they were courting. Either he found somebody else or he found out who you really were. So he cut you like a bad habit. So now you come back, baby. I just can't. I tried to move on, but I just couldn't forget about you, honey. Can we start all over again? And the fool says, "Oh yeah, honey, we can start all over again." And that's what we do. We don't go back and say, "Okay, I'm gonna use her since she came back. I'm gonna use her for a little while." We don't do that. No, we go back full force. Come on, honey. Come on. You always welcome back. I missed you too. You're always welcome back, baby.
Hey, I know these smart women in the chat. They're not mad with me about what I'm saying. They know it's true. But guess what? I'm gonna switch to the other side. Biden gonna come around and do the same thing.
Oh yeah, he is.
So guess what? You know what Biden remind me of, to be honest with you?
Who?
Biden remind me of a pimp slapping his horse. That's what he remind me of.
Wow.
Doing it heavy-handedly too. Right? And guess what? Now this time, but this is the only problem about these whores that he's slapping. They men and women this time.
That's true.
And I really believe that he's gonna come around and gonna say that if it wasn't for me, the economy wouldn't back up. Well, wait a minute, sir. The economy's not back on track. I just sent you an article yesterday of United Airlines having to suspend 100 regional flights through Christmas.
Come on.
What are you talking about? What I'm about to ask you. Are we living in some type of parallel universe?
remember Superman, and we had that character, Bizarro Superman, who really wasn't Superman. He lived in another world as Superman. So, this reminds me of what Biden is. And once again, just like the other time, Biden's courting again. Now he's seen at black university. He's talking about kumbaya. He gave Clyburn a medal and a honorarium and all that bull. Once again, they come. Don't we get the idea? They come back every 2 to 4 years. In between that time, they don't even think about you at all. I mean, when are we going to get to? It's an age-old scheme that's been around for 50 years. Ever since the black African Americans began to be more Democrat than Republicans. This same thing every single year. They come to your church, pat your babies.
Stop for a second. He's saying they're going to roll out the Omega variant for 2023. This guy, Monel, shout out to his brother from the Dominican. I'm going to give him some credit because he always sends me stuff, and he sends me what they already got planned. See, I wouldn't just be saying this. See, when these people predict and talk, they already giving you a projection of what's going on, Fauci, and then when you see on the screen, right? They talk,
right?
They telling you, "Oh, we're not going to do that." Oh, that means you are going to do it. Don't get me twisted. But what I'm going to say about Biden giving Jim Clyburn an award, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have no use for Jim Clyburn, so that makes me no difference. The people that deserve the awards for real are us putting out the information, not these daggone two-timing scoundrels that come around and say, "Oh, let me give you a fish plate or whatever." No, let me cook my own fish. I don't want it. It might be poison. You might be giving me some poison. Because let me tell you something, how nefarious these people are. They're talking about people putting people in indefinite suspension in New York and a bill possibly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to read the bill to you in a minute. Well, let's say I've got 1 million unjabbed people in New York,
mm-hmm.
right? Well, guess what? They just told you that we can get 600,000 to 800,000 people with a green card to vote in local elections. But do you really think that's going to only be local? Hell no. You can vote for everything, but you can't vote in federal election. No.
Yeah.
It's going to be local, municipality, and they are trying to ramp up their numbers because remember, New York and California are losing population by the minute.
Oh, yeah.
Draconian mandate, people leave. I'm pretty sure my good friend Monique 2C, who just moved to Oklahoma, and I'm going to give Monique 2C credit because she did send me a picture when she first got her key, along with her, I think it was 2 wonderful daughters in the picture. But nevertheless, she did move to another state, so that's good. She'll tell you what part of Oklahoma she moved to, but that's okay. I'm just giving her credit for making a move. She said she wanted to be around more of her people. So, it is what it is. But nevertheless, she could be in for a good time or bad time, depending on what people she's around, because I ain't gonna tell you no lie, Bishop. I've been around this year, and some of these people scared the hell out of me. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I had some interesting conversations, white folks, black folks, so forth and the like, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what?
What's that?
I just say I never seen black folks so scared before. Like, what you scared of so much? What's going on? What are you mad at me? I'm not doing nothing. I'm not hurting you. I'm just telling you that I think that a lot of stuff is BS and just coming to fruition just from a nutritionist standpoint. And I told Bishop the other day, I sent Bishop 2 interviews, one by Robert F. Kennedy, one by Jim Jordan, the congressman from Ohio. Did I not?
Right.
Okay. In that interview, the man told you 27 times natural immunity. Had the guy. What the guy say? We got natural immunity. They just don't want to study this contrary to them.
Exactly.
That's what he said.
And he
so
said,
when you get them on,
he said that
these people have these conversations.
Natural immunity is much more effective than taking any kind of shot, any kind of pill, any kind of medical solutions to things. Our bodies, and you said this on Wednesday, our bodies themselves have the most powerful, unique immune system of anything.
That's right.
We were created with the most powerful immune system of any other creature on earth. Human beings have immunity to virtually anything. And just like you said, as long as we feed that immune system with natural foods, healthy foods that keep it tip top. What we do is we destroy it with all this junk. So now our natural immunity is compromised. But if we start eating right and drinking right.
Let me bring something up that
go on.
Today. I'm going to bring something up here. Hundreds of Fresh Express dough salad recall hundreds of salad products over listeria concern.
I heard that today.
Fresh Express are recalling hundreds of varieties of packaged salad products of popular listeria and contamination and asking customers to throw them away immediately. But there have been over 400 products across dozens of states and 2 Canadian provinces. Now, here's the problem with that. The big problem with that is it's Fresh Express and dough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that's only going to be limited to them? Do you think it could be some other romaine, other things too?
Of course.
Right.
Of course.
That's why I always say about these pesticides and these herbicides. You better understand that when they do that, that is a chemical.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So you really like soy. And this is for the men specifically, but it probably affects the women too. I mean, I watched good interviews, but I already knew this. Soy can affect your reproductive system.
Okay.
When you cut, your body bleeds and forms pregnant with a cutting edge. The first thing is to put oxygen peroxide on it. Yes, that is true. Now, I was going to say that also remdesivir, which they told you was a medicine for COVID, right? Got recalled. Oh, why did it get recalled? Because they say it had shards of glass in it. So everything I done told you was gonna happen, and the daggone, and now they're saying, oh, dang, we got a pill now. Well, they already had ivermectin and all this other stuff. Wait a minute. Oh, that pill is similar to ivermectin, but guess what? That generic brand, that's too cheap. You get that cheap. Let's mock this thing up 1,000% and make some more money.
That's the bottom line.
It's about
that's the bottom line.
Hey, look, when they tell you it's all about the Benjamin, believe them.
That's true. That's very true.
They don't. I mean, really, to tell you the truth, I told a guy, guess what? Forget what I said. Donald Trump even said something on the interview. He said that nobody's dying from it. That was complete nonsense. But that's okay. Don't worry about that part. But he did. She said my husband had it, and she said my husband. And Donald Trump even admitted that if your husband had it and he survived, he's got natural immunity. He said this. Right? Nobody else wants to admit this, but he did say that. So I throw that in there. But here's the deal. What I'm saying, and I know I said this on your show, 99.8 survivable. The guy, I think the brother, all respect to him, he thought that I said hoax. I said, no. I said the hoax element is the hysteria. Now they're not talking about jabs anymore. They're talking about get tested. See, in the game. At the end of the year, the PCR tests, they're not going to use that anymore. They're using this company named Monologic that did pregnancy tests, Slate, Gates, and Soros are funding. So you're going to make more money. Oh, don't worry, it's free. Oh, no, it's not free. The government already put the tab on it, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to tell you that. Don't worry about it. It's free. Just and then you get a massive stir of people in line. But guess what? The media is good at projection. They show you this long line, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Richmond, Virginia. I don't see no long line. Is something wrong? You might be in Philadelphia. You might not see a long line.
No, I don't see long line.
So they always make it seem like,
it's more than what it is.
Joe Biden said that the other day, right on camera, in that damn press conference. Stop spreading misinformation to your followers. Stop it. It's wrong and immoral. Well, don't you think what you're doing is wrong and immoral too? You're yelling at the people, telling them to stop spreading misinformation. He said, you are causing your followers death and destruction. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. But my thing is, wait a minute. Everybody's not getting paid, and a lot of people get donations. That's why on the first of the year they thought they want to start. I don't know. Not monetizing, but having you report to the IRS your Zelles, your PayPals, police state. They want to know everything you do.
Oh yeah.
Now, I don't know if that reminds you of a movie called George Orwell, Animal Farm, but I will tell you what it does remind me of.
I don't know if you've been 1980, in 1984 too. Wrote that.
December
1984 about Big Brother.
The other day, they got a movie called The Matrix. I saw the thing with the red pill and the blue pill.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So they put it out there. That's the Matrix. Right? But it's not the same Matrix they had before. So all I'm saying is that just watch and beware. They always give you the signs and the symbols. It's just to find out what your mind can do. Now, if you got a closed mind, you don't have to listen to what I'm saying.
Right. That's right.
I don't even want, look, you know what? I was talking to a friend of mine a couple of days ago. And I said everything I said was going to happen. And I said, I want my damn respect. That's what I said. Right? But you know what? I don't need my respect from these people because you know what? Because if they respect you now, you've been knowing me for a long time. So don't bother to say thank you. You were right. I was wrong.
Right.
None of that. Because when I had the information back then, you didn't want to listen to it.
That's right.
So I respect you and others that listen to me from the start.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
And that's what I got to respect. I can't worry about, oh, you want to respect me now. No. You should respect me then.
Right.
It's kind of like going back to the girlfriend or boyfriend scenario. You didn't realize how good it was at first. But then you want to try to get back on. But when you try to get back into the game, I don't know if you really respecting me now or you trying to be a leech. I really can't tell you.
Right. Yeah. So the trust level is gone.
Yeah.
But let me say this, Bernard. As I was listening to our president, our 46th president, throughout his, I'm gonna tell you, I was concerned for him. I'll be honest with you. That man did more coughing and hacking. I said, you talk about worrying about everybody else better check themselves. I think you need to check yourself, my friend. Uncle Joe, I think you need to check yourself. That coughing that you're doing, excuse me. I said, whoa. And you know it's running rampant in Washington, D.C., even in the White House. I said, Mr. President, I think you need to get yourself to a doctor as soon as possible because look like something's happening with you. If you heard that interview, that man coughed more than a little bit. He kept on his pardon, excuse me. I was, whoa, Joe. Whoa, Joe. But yeah, it's all like we said the other day. The dominant group doesn't work on years. They work on centuries. They know what's going to happen in the 22nd 23rd century. We work on today and tomorrow. They work on 100 years from now. And they prepare 100 years from now. So we're still working on the game they started 100 years ago. We're still working on that game, trying to figure that game out. Where they've already left that game and started a new game that they're initiating that will come to fruition 100 years from now, after we're long gone, after our children are long gone, after our great-grandchildren are long gone. They have a plan that's perpetual. It doesn't stop. It doesn't end. It's always being plotted out. And just when we get to learn the old game, they begin to start a new game. Then we got to learn those rules. Like you were talking about censorship a little earlier. The Constitution said, the very first bill in the Constitution gave us freedom of speech. And I think it's more than coincidental that that's the first attack that's being made in this country today. Freedom of speech, political correctness, and cultural validity, and all that kind of stuff we're talking about now. Culture, what was it called? The culture thing. No matter where you are, there has to be a right way. And I'm gonna tell you something. I watched the interview not long ago, and I thought I had it in my I'd saved it, but I can't find it. But it was a gentleman from China, mainland China, not Taiwan, China itself, communist China. That's where he came from. And he was being interviewed, and the woman asked him, he said, well, what do you think of our democracy? What do you think of Joe Biden and his administration? He said, it reminds me of communist China, when Mao Zedong took over from Sun Yat-sen way back there in the 30s and the 40s.
I'm the one that told you, daggone, it was going to be like this in January.
Oh, you already said that, yeah. But it's interesting, the Chinese, because he came up in that culture. He said that's how they started. They established a one culture mentality. There you go.
Communist Manifesto right here.
There you go.
By Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I think the good brother.
Oh, you've been talking about that for a long time.
Had a show the other night, and he actually was talking about Karl Marx. Karl Marx was actually one of the first inventors of feminism. So you got a man that's responsible for feminism. Make this make sense. A man developing an agenda for a woman. Ain't this something right here? But if you read the Communist Manifesto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interracial marriage, even some of the things that seem to be good, food stamps, public assistance, blah, blah, blah. It's all part of that. Social justice. They all tied into this book. So some things may sound good, but I was taught that, hey, even the devil do good sometimes.
That's right. That's true.
They get you on his side anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But then you find out how dirty it really
but
is.
Everything that looks good is not always good for you.
Well,
everything look good ain't always good for you.
What a singer Yvonne had a saying in his thing that everything that glitters ain't gold.
That's true.
But now I will say this. So I know that I know people, well, not people in my chat so much, you're gonna believe in some fairy man coming down a damn chimney tonight. I know you're not believing that part, but I did want to speak about this because last couple of days have been really packed on the roads. I really don't like to drive in a lot of traffic when people are out spending this much money because I've got a big problem with these stores this year. They've inflated the cost of products. And if you look at it in a concept, didn't they tell you there's shortages? Remember all that?
Yep.
Well, wait a minute. Well, you got it now, don't you? So what happened? Oh, the big box stores got the product. Oh, I see how it works. That's right.
That's it.
Y'all got it. Amazon. Walmart.
Yep.
Target. Macy's. Best Buy. Y'all ate the product.
Well, statistics say that people like Steve Bezos and others of that ilk, they have made out like bandits during the pandemic. We're losing jobs, and we don't have the kind of money to pay for rent. We can't pay our student loans. We can't do this. We can't do that. Gas prices are rising like I don't know what. And the people, just like you say, that are the chairman of the boards and presidents of these conglomerates, like Amazon, Walmart, and the like, the Koch family, the Bezos family, all those wealthy folk, they're making out like bandits. They're more prosperous now in this last year and a half than they ever have been in any short-term way. And
I'm going to say this about that.
And they're the only ones profiting. And yet yes, it's going to be a shortage. Yet you got these millionaires becoming billionaires, these multi-millionaires becoming billionaires, and billionaires are now becoming multi-billionaires.
Well, I told some friends of mine that I knew, maybe, I don't know, but I said, look, we shouldn't go to one of these stores to buy a damn thing this year. I don't do it anyway, but I'm just telling you that.
Yeah.
I mean, right. But I'm saying that this year, you should hold your money in your pocket, because I'm real interested to see after December 31st, what are going to be the profit of these stores that were selling these products.
It's going to be astronomical.
We'll show you that, and it's a lot. You better know this was a big con game.
Yep.
Because they told you it was shortage. Remember that.
Yep.
But there ain't been no shortage.
Well, my wife went to Walmart today to do the last minute Christmas shopping. Not for toys and all that. We don't do that. But in terms of food. And she said that store was so crowded. And they weren't buying food. They were buying the toy items and the clothes items and all this kind of stuff. There was no lack at all because they were out for an hour and there was no even letting up of the crowd that was in the store. Not even a letting up of it. There was just as many people when they walked in as when they left. Stores are making out like bandits, like Walmart and Amazon. And Amazon in particular, because it's easy. You sit back in your house, get your phone, tap into the numbers, and you got your gift coming by way of free trucking or whatever. They bring it right to your door.
Let me give out a not a Christmas message, but more of a life message. Come to think about it. I ain't doing no Christmas shopping, but guess what? I will say this. If you feel the need to do something big, go get you about 2 or 3 stacks of water. You might need it. Because I don't know what these people plan to do, but you might need to stock up on some water and stuff like that at the store. Because, hey, and if you got a friend that needs some water, hey, tap him on the shoulder and say, look, bro, look, Dad going, hey, after Christmas, well, the one stack your water up. You know what these got planned 2022. But I think it's going to be very, very interesting what they got planned. I do see a lot of things. Also, let me do this before I forget, because I don't want to forget anything. The bill where allows the governor to imprison without trial anyone she considers a threat to public health in New York is Assembly Bill A416. A416. Assembly Bill A398 eliminates exemptions for work in college. That's very interesting. Now, we were talking about something the other day, and I wanted to just jump into this topic. We were talking about the Joe Manchin, and we were talking about the union thing. They say the coal mine union.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it's kind of funny right now. You got Starbucks in certain states making unions for Starbucks employees. Wow. Right. Kroger's got a union. They're saying that the union employees don't have to be jabbed, but the non-union employees, they will surcharge them and they won't get paid if they go for testing. Nevertheless. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about none of that, right? Don't worry. Pay no attention to what I said there. But I do realize that the unions, some of these unions are actually going along with the script too. That is a big, big problem. Because that coal miners union really said that they about to get a major kickback.
Oh, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. So you got to be careful.
And yet their workers are losing their jobs left and right. It's weird because they're pushing now for their members and others in the United States to go for this Build Back Better plan of President Biden's. But just like we talked about the other day, just like we talked about yesterday, always filtered within these bills are what we call pork. And pork are things that are not tied directly to the bill and otherwise would not have passed on their own. So you slip them into a bill that's popular. You slip it into a bill that's popular. So what they're saying is, yes, they're talking about tax rebates and other things of that nature, tax cuts and tax incentives and all that. And they like that. The mainstream likes that within the unions. However, what we fail to forget is the fact that the ultimate plan is to shut down coal mines, shut down steel mills. That's the ultimate plan. Anything that is tied into that, natural gas, all those things are ultimately going to be replaced. And so if you replace those things, you also are eliminating jobs by the hundreds of thousands. So while you're looking at that one thing that looks good, that pork is right there too, saying if you vote and if you do this and you think this is going to help you, it ain't going to help you when you're unemployed because you won't be paying no taxes.
Well, the Build Back Better thing is even the Build Back Better thing. Actually, they did that in Haiti when they wrecked their infrastructure. And they already ran this script before in Haiti and other countries. So this ain't nothing new. Here's the problem with the whole Build Back Better problem. They're talking about infrastructure, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem is they're talking about infrastructure through green energy, which would be contrary to what the coal miners are saying. That is completely to the contrary.
Yeah.
And you're not going to replace. Now, one of the countries that does a lot of green energy is what? India. They do that. So do you think it's a coincidence that they wanted to import 500,000 people from India and people from Afghanistan, people from here? You do know these people are well skilled in tech and stuff, right? Oh, yeah, you do know that, right? Yes, they are. So that would actually let you know what they're really doing. So that's my thing with it, you know. But I'm just letting you know this is how. So that's the problem. I said the Build Back Better thing is contrary to everything they're selling. Believe it or not, buy nothing what these people are selling. Please don't buy. I mean, you see yourself for a bad deal. Don't buy what they're selling. You got to find out things. Matter of fact, you need to get a team of people to do it. You might need to get 20 people off here just to read 100 pages.
Yeah, because that thing's thousands of pages long. It ain't no easy. It's not an easy read.
Well, 2,000 pages, they say.
That's what I'm saying. It's thousands of pages long. So you know, it's not an easy read. And I'd venture to say no politician that voted for it has even read it.
I have 50 cases of water, 50 cans of beans, 30 bags, jeans, 50 pounds of brown rice, all organic. Yeah, you stocking up then. Damn. You stocking up. But speaking of this, I just asking the question. Just so I did realize something, and it made me a little bit not upset, but I was just wondering. I know you're out there in Philly. I did realize that Philadelphia's been a lot lead of homicides this year. What do you think?
Yeah, nearly 600 homicides so far, and the year's not even over yet. We still got another week to go, and the dying just like anything. I mean, it's a tragedy, a travesty, and the rest. I mean, just every time I open up the newspaper, it's not one person, not two persons, but persons, many people in a day, all throughout the city. It doesn't have to be just in the worst neighborhoods. Everywhere in the city, there's some sort of homicides. A woman would just come back from a baby shower, and she was taking in her all the gifts into the house. carrying her baby. Somebody shot her in the head and the stomach, trying to kill her and the baby. And this is the kind of thing that's going on here. And nobody seems to really talk about it much. You're the first person outside of people in the city itself who's even mentioned it. Most people don't even know the tragedy of it all. And many of it's, sad to say, is black on black crime. I mean, the girl was killed not by a white police officer, but rather by someone that she knew, possibly even the father of the child.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but it's happening in Baltimore. It's happening here in Richmond. But one thing I will say, what is the underlying carrot of all these cities that all the killing goes on? What's the one thing
They're
that
all
always
democratically controlled?
That's my point.
They're all democratically controlled cities.
So, it seems like a lot of people know this, right? Please do not let these people lie to you when they tell you they are trying to stop crime. They are not. They really don't give a damn. That's all that stuff they say. Oh, we're going to stop crime. We're going to put $700 million to fight crime. No, the $700 million is really for nonprofits and NGOs, which is non-government organizations, to get a payday just to say we're going to stop crime. And then you don't stop anything, but somebody got paid. Because you cannot fight crime by putting up basketball courts and football fields and stuff. Because you got to understand, Bishop, when I was a young child, we did play basketball, football. We had rec centers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can be all rec centers you want now, right? The problem is that mindset of going to a rec center is gone. There's a lot of these children today just like to sit in the house and play video games.
Yes, sir.
That's a problem. I mean, even in NBA, NFL, if you look at these players now, these players are not coming from street playgrounds and stuff like that. They're not coming from the quote unquote hood, as they would say, right?
Right.
They're coming more from AAU programs, play football all their life. And one thing I'll give the brother Pianki did make, you know, a lot of time is wasted on trying to get 400 players in the NBA and so many in NFL when you have so many other things you could be doing. And if you don't make it, it's kind of like a one-stop drop. So you're just somebody else, right? Or you may bounce around the league, or you may play overseas, and you might do that. It's good to have the sport as a thing, but you cannot waste your whole life on sport and play. Is that a good analysis right there?
I think so. I mean, we were brought up in my time that even sports figures had to have what they call a backup plan, something to fall back on in case you got injured. How many people actually become superstars, even to the point of even entering into a professional basketball, football, baseball team? How many people actually make it there? Even the most talented people don't actually become a professional sports person. And many of those, even if you become on the team, you'll never be a Michael Jordan making that kind of money, a LeBron James making that kind of money, Kobe Bryant making that kind of money. You're not going to do that. So I mean, you better fall back on something, have something else going for you other than that. But our community pushes for us to be involved in certain things. Even when it talks about rapping and acting and all those type of things, nothing wrong with that. Every group has actors and sports figures and other things like that. But they also have scientists and doctors and mathematicians and professors and astroscientists and other things of that nature as well. And they push more for those type of things than to do those other things, those recreational sport things. And so, I mean, I love it to watch a movie. I love to watch football. I love to watch, well, not so much basketball. I'm old school, so I'm really football and baseball for the most part. But I like watching those things. I like watching that. I love boxing. Always did love it. But I also understand that we have to begin to move in a more serious vein too. We have to encourage our children to be the best that they can be. And everybody's not going to be a great academic student. We understand that. But when I came along, and I know, Bernard, even when you came along early in your life, we also had trade schools. Not everybody went to college. Some became electricians. Some became engineers. Some became other things, be plumbers even. Those professions will never die. Those professions will never cease to exist. You would always need somebody to fix a pipe, to do this and to do that, to come out to your house and do some work. And sometimes we lower the expectations of people and not realizing everybody can't be a genius. Everybody can't be a 4.0 student in the university, but you can make the most out of your life and be prosperous at doing it.
Well, I'm going to say something very interesting here.
They make a good little piece of money.
I'm going to say something here that's very interesting. The people who make the most money don't have 4.0 GPAs or college education. They come up with an idea and they make it stick.
There you go. I like that. That's true.
That's what a lot of these millionaires do. They say, but they tell you to go there, but because they tell you that I just made it off an idea. It is what it is.
That's true.
They can't let you know that. But I was thinking about this the other day because I had a dream of becoming a well, I mean, I had a dream, but I did go to school for pharmacy tech, and I was like, okay. But then when I found out I wanted to be a pharmacist, I said, you know what? Stuff too crooked. I can't keep on doing this. So I've been paid the loan back what I had to pay, whatever. But it's very interesting. Because like I said, the people woven in may be good, but the top is so corrupt. They really don't want you to tell your patient, because at the end of the day, a doctor tell you this. Well, what should I eat to help me overcome my condition? The doctor will tell you, my job is to prescribe medicine. My job is to prescribe you medicine, not to, you might can say eat well, but you ain't telling me what to eat though either. See? So this stuff you shouldn't, and that's why I always talk about.
And you're absolutely right. There are there you go. The pills and the kind of fruits that you need to get. We need to eat more. I'm going to tell you the truth. Instead of packaged foods, even when it talks about salads, we need to get a salad off of what used to be. And you remember this these days. We used to go on a truck, get your food off of a truck. Then sometimes we would go into the field and pluck our own corn and our own berries off the tree, not processed, because when you put something in a bag, you have to preserve it. So you put additives in it to preserve it in a bag. But when you get it natural, right out of the ground, off of the tree, off of the vine, man, there's nothing like it. That's natural. That's the way it was meant to be eaten. Not processed and all of that type of thing. Bagged up, boxed up, canned up, bottled up. That's not natural food.
Have you ever had a blueberry or a carrot right off the ground?
Yep. And you can tell the difference in the taste too. I can tell a difference in the taste of a corn on the cob that actually comes off the stalk. It's much different than the one in the store is all yellow and bright yellow, but these aren't as Well,
my great aunt had when I was little, used to go garden in the backyard, right? Mm-hmm. And I love lettuce, right?
Okay.
She sometimes would give me lettuce just to take home. I lived right down the street from her at that time. And but you always, the only thing with the lettuce is you gotta watch it, because the rabbits and stuff, they'll try to give you a thing.
Yeah.
They love lettuce too.
Right.
But even at the time, and like I said, I've never ate rabbit, I don't think, but people used to eat rabbit or deer, whatever, right? I'm just telling you. I mean, I had a guy, he went and gave me deer meat one time. So, very interesting. I ate deer patties one time, but it's just interesting that you understand that, the best things are done naturally, not genetically modified organisms.
Right.
And we do have to come to a point where we realize that. But I think that it's so hard to get back to the basics, because if I went down the street, and actually I wasn't even here, but I said I'm going to come back home to do this with you, because I thought about doing it on the actual road, because I wanted to show you, but I had to get a different camera, and I didn't want to do that to show you that. I mean, the lines at Popeyes, Zaxby's, Krispy Kreme are packed. And back in the day, Bishop, if you saw a drive, even if you did want to get to fast food, you saw a drive-through pack, you weren't waiting on a long line, right?
Right. That's right.
Now they're doing it like got 2 lines set up. People ain't even going to tell me. They just saying, I'm just waiting a long line, right?
Yeah. That's
Look
true.
here.
That's true.
If I can't I don't even go to the drive-through, but what I'm saying, if I can't get my food in 5 minutes, it's supposed to be a fast food restaurant, I'm not waiting in no long ass line.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
As a matter of fact, unless I'm just sitting in a restaurant for pleasure and I finally get something to eat, I'm not waiting 30 to 45 minutes waiting to get no service neither.
You're like me. That's how I am too.
Yeah.
I don't wait around.
Unless I'm on my laptop or using Wi-Fi, and then I say, I might get something to eat because I'm already sitting there. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to do all that extra stuff. So you understand where I'm going with that. Hello, Miss Felicia Lockhart. She is in the building.
Good evening, Felicia.
She is always willing to put us out some good knowledge. And I'm pretty sure, Bishop, you think Felicia is she's a wealth of knowledge herself. You got to give it to her. Still got to do a show with you and her though, too, as well. Together. Both of you and her. That'd be pretty interesting. She's been putting up a lot of great stuff lately, too. So just want to shout out because the brother Pioneer said Felicia hate Queen. So that's how I looked up and I had to see Felicia in the chat.
Yeah, we still got to get that show together, Bernard, with Lady Felicia and the other, I think, Queen and myself on that spiritual show you were talking about. You wanted to have us go in there. We can kind of show our stuff in that area.
Let me
of our concern in our lives.
Hold on 1 second, Bishop. That this ain't gonna be like with 1 second. Because let me see if she wants to she wanted to come and speak her piece right quick.
Okay,
she
good.
Can. If not,
good.
Well. I let her speak because she is a excellent she's actually a narrator. She narrates the story well. She gives me a good narrator.
I know she has that gift because even on her show, the way she speaks and hosts the show, you can see she has that gift as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've just looked at a microcosm of life and how it goes, and okay. Let me see. She said that she's got to cook dinner at the same time. Well, that's womanly thing, I guess. Cooking dinner.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, I can understand that.
So don't worry about it. We get her.
That's right. Feed that family, girl. Feed that family.
But then, nevertheless, you got to cook and stuff. I mean,
we'll have opportunity. But,
it's okay. It's okay.
After the first of the year,
but she had a good, show today actually. That she had at 2:00. She got show Friday too. But next time she comes on, I'll put it out there and stuff like that.
That'd be wonderful.
I don't know if the Thought Police are watching. I wouldn't want to give the Thought Police the number. Hey, you can cook dinner and talk on here, but also put us on speaker and shout over the water and fry. Well, she could call my number and do that, couldn't she? Actually.
Yeah, we'll get her the first of the year.
But let her.
We'll get her the first of the year.
Let her do things. Let her do that.
That's right. We'll get her the first of the year.
Hey, one thing I will say, and the other Felicia in this chat too, to her, I have heard both of them say they are doing some cooking and stuff. So when I hear them talk about they cooking, I said they're the women because
don't let it burn.
I heard some women tell me that they can't cook, and that thing got me a little bit off the.
Oh wow!
Man, daggone. I remember back in the day, a guy told my brother. Oh, she said I've been on air since the morning. I'm off now, so I have to get it together for Saturday. Falls on Sunday this month. Okay, never mind. But I will
Christmas
say
Eve, we understand.
But I will say this, that I also look into this thing more so in a realm of knowing self. And when I see people that, I see some people say that women can't cook these days. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna say that's up to you. But hey, I'm gonna say this to you, that I've had a few women tell me that they know how to cook, but my style of eating is so contrary to them, they're not going to do it. So, but it is what it is. But hey, Bishop, it keeps me weighing 148 to 150 pounds. So, and it keeps me active and in the gym, and I still can lift weights and do everything else. I think I'll be okay. I mean, listen. Hey, look, and it keeps me with a wonderful mind, so I'm gonna be fine. And even though I'm 34 years old, some people tell me I still look 25. So it is what it is. I
know that lifestyle.
I eat fish sometimes, and salmon, Miss Sunlight. So Miss Sunlight, I think you've come on my show. You're always welcome as well. But most of the women who can cook have been snatched already. Used by some old dude with a wide brim hat and a couple of cars for her to drive. Let's talk about that for a second. So why is that? Because, I'm just gonna tell you. I told a guy the other day, I ain't never seen such a bunch of wimps and simps in my life. Some of these guys, I sitting there talking in conversation. I'm like, man, I don't know if I can talk to you in this gym for 10 minutes, man. So, man, I ain't fighting with rabbits on the letters. I'm gonna take my daggone letters from the rabbit. But nevertheless, we do have a lot of issues, and I think that we should fix these issues as quickly as possible.
I think we need to really be mindful in this next year, which is only a few days from now. 2022 is here. You might well say 2021 is over. 2022 is upon us, and it's going to be a very interesting year. From start to finish, it's going to be a very interesting year, culminating naturally in November when we have the election. I tell everybody, all 435 House of Representative members are up for re-election, all of them. And 33 of the 100 senators are up for re-election. There are many governors that are up for re-election. State House representatives and State House Senate seats, mayoral Senate seats are all up this coming year. So be mindful. Be like Bernard is. Begin to study. Begin to read. Begin to look at the records of these people. Start with the people in your state. Everybody has two senators. Everybody has two senators. So find out who your senators are.
I want you to read this comment this brother's saying. I want you to read this comment that he's saying.
Go on.
I ran into a few black women who can cook, but when I talked to them about a few minutes, I find out they are married and about to have time by non-black man. And then he said that he ran to work at such a nice, civil, petite, acts like a lady, and she can cook and bake pies, married to a Mexican. Let me say something about that right quick.
Okay.
Because I am going to do a show on that, but I'm not going to do a show on that as far as that. I'm going to do a show on that because that is actually part of the Communist Manifesto as well, interracial dating and stuff. As a matter of fact, Biden even said it on a talk show that we have a chance now to look at the amount of biracial couples we have. He did say that. And if you watch the TV and the commercials now, you see them pushing white black couples and even homosexual couples. They do it in your face. They're not hiding it anymore.
Oh no.
And it all goes to that thing, and you can go pull it up. Like I said, just research it. It's called, they got a new agenda they call the Browning of America. So they want a more like a Carmel type person. I mean, that's not to knock that, but I'm just saying this is what they want.
That's true.
So, I mean, don't get mad at me. Just read it up because that's the agenda they want. Biden actually told you this, actually, come to think about it. When he told them house niggas, he told them
on that Zoom call,
don't come. Hey, man, Biden told you we ain't gonna be around too much longer. Go get it from the Hispanics.
That's
don't
right.
Worry about me. He got it telling you.
They already outnumber you already. By 2033, you have to go to them for everything.
Yeah. So he basically telling you that that's the communist brown American plot right there. He letting you know. He wasn't lying to you.
But he also saying in that, he's also saying, don't look to us no more for help. Don't look to us no. Wait till 2030 when they get in and see whether they'll help you.
Well, I'm gonna say this to you. Don't look to them for help neither, all right?
No, I'm good. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, because okay, I'm gonna say make sure that they go because you ain't gonna because I'm gonna
they ain't gonna do no helping either.
If they take over the political arena, you damn sure ain't getting no help. You might not get what you want now. They pushing black women to be with white men. They pushing black men to be with each other. They did approve a HIV injection the other day. And matter of fact, they been running a lot of HIV commercials. I'm gonna even talk about that because that's even a little sickening too, in a context. They actually would do that. Back in the day, they said safe sex. Now they say have any sex. That's what they say.
Yeah.
So that agenda changed too, as well. So
if you look at what they're trying to do, just like you said, the interracial marriages.
Was Kevin Hart from Philadelphia?
The black man, or black man, white man to man type of thing. The incarceration, the pushing in our neighborhoods, abortions for our young black women. All of those things all added up leads to a place of genocide. It leads to a place of annihilation.
Genocide. You are
we
right.
as a people will one day be no more. That's what they're hoping for.
Let me ask you a question. Is Kevin Hart in Philadelphia? Is that guy Kevin Hart in Philadelphia? The Kevin Hart the comedian. He is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a thing with Kevin Hart sitting in a man's lap on this video. It's been going on the internet the other day.
Hold on a second, Bernard. Hold on. I can't hear you that good. Let me see. Turn my thing up a little bit. Oh, okay, God. That wasn't up enough.
Well, Kevin Hart has got
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he's sitting in a man's lap or something. I think it's a white man's lap or something.
Yeah.
A friend of mine sent it to me yesterday. So I just pointing all this out to you. So I'm just pointing it out there. But I'm glad that you have always you look at things and you tell me things. I tell you things. I show it to you.
And I appreciate
say,
it.
hey, but listen,
no.
But what I always do.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. How I am is what I like about you. I'm not from Missouri, but I got a Missouri mentality. I'm a show me man. I'm not gonna take what you say at face value, because what you say at face value may have no value. But when you can say to me, this is where I got this from. This is proven. It's not what I think. It's not what I feel. It's not what I even believe. It's what is truth. And if you believe in truth, that's fine. But it's still based on truth.
Well,
and you can believe in truth. That can be a part of your opinion framework, but it still has to be grounded in fact, not fiction, not conjecture, not presumption, but fact. And one thing I'll say about you that I've known you now nearly 3 years now, you always base everything that you present on fact. You can dispute the facts, but I know one thing with you. If they do dispute it, they better have facts to back it up. If you're going to dispute what I say, don't dispute what I say without you bringing up your own facts. If you can't bring the facts to the table, when I'm bringing up facts, if you can't bring up facts, then it's just you're defeated.
This is one of them little yawn jockey position. Nigga want to be one of Santa Claus elves. Well, I'm gonna say this, and that's why when I present the information, I try to make it as easy as possible to say. So I don't cut corners. I might use some metaphors in there, but I'll tell you this is what I got. Read it for yourself, and if you don't want to look at it, hey man, hey, it is what it is. But I'm not gonna sit up here and have a long drawn out debate if I've already shown it to you.
Right. That's right.
I don't have to debate you on Biden or anything because it's right there in your face. Matter of fact, he's actually making it very clear. Actually, not even
you can either accept it or reject it.
Matter of fact, he not even the crazy part of it. He's not even trying to be nice no more about it.
Not anymore.
Not even civil about it. Actually,
no.
So, with that being said, yeah, Bishop, I'm just glad that you came back on. I know they put me in detention for a little bit.
I hope this is not blocked. I hope this is not banned.
Oh yeah. Well, this ain't. Well, if this was, if they ban this, then I just need to go to the drawing board because this was like. I mean,
well, thanks for the invitation, Bernard.
But I mean, hey, it is what it is, right?
With you. Always glad to be with you.
But I will say that I'm glad you came on, and I just want to say that you're always welcome on this show. And but at the meantime, you got a show on Wednesday, so go ahead and put it out there.
Okay, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. we have Real Talk with the G-Man. One of our special guests is always every week bringing his own insight into information that he wants to share with us. Is Bernard Johnson? BJ is always on our show, always contributing some vital information, bringing me a lot of information that I did not know of. Most of it he sends before the show for me to look at, for me to analyze, and ultimately present on the show. So we invite you. It's Real Talk with the G-Man every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Blog Talk Radio. 515-602-9655 is the call-in number. We're going to be off this Wednesday coming, but the first Wednesday in January, we'll be right at our post, bringing you more information, more facts.
And I want to say this. Sometime I might need some information during the show.
Yeah.
As the world turns and it breaks.
But, because I'm going to change the format a little bit next year. I want to, at one point I used to do this, but I'm going to go back to doing it again. I'm going to have our guests actually be the ones who present a position. And think like Bernard has been on my show, and it's really been giving it to him to really present his position on a particular matter. And he's done it about a couple of times on the show over the past year and a half that we've been on.
Well,
he has brought insight into what he thinks is important news for us to have.
Well, look, man, how about this? When you're ready to do it again, let me sign my autograph on it. And we can stamp it again. Now, hey, that being said, I'm glad you came back on. We can try to get Felicia on next time. And hey, I would say this. Just everybody keep your eyes open. We got 7 days left in this wacko year. 2020 was the eye revealing everything. And all I'm going to say, if you ain't got the picture by now, I'm going to say all hope might be lost for you. With that, I'm out of here. Y'all have a nice night.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Talk to you soon.
Gotcha.